Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let me see if I can get my improved audio. Tell me I'm okay. On the audio front, forgot to plug that in first. Sometimes it creates a problem. Give a couple of seconds for the room to check in, or I'll just kick it on. Whatever. I'm going to talk today about the doors versus the phones. What is better? I'm inspired this morning by a conversation I had with one of my students who's on the phones this morning, and he said, well, James, these are my numbers right now, and cold calling is not dead. And I'm like, no, it's not dead. But then when he gave me his numbers, I thought to myself, oh, I've got to talk about this. This is something worth talking about. So what is better? The phones or the doors? Gather around the fire. Thank you for joining me today on this most interesting topic. If I could, please get a thumbs up on the audio whenever someone comes in. Someone usually says I can't hear. That would suck. So today I'm going to talk about what's better. I'm going to doing a live session on what is better, the doors or the phones. This is inspired by Kyle. Thank you, Kyle, for coming in and bringing those numbers. So let's talk about the ROI, because that's what most people come in and ask about, is what is the ROI of door knocking? What is the ROI of cold calling? We can only say, based on individual results, the ROI of door knocking versus cold calling, individual results will vary. Definitely vary from one place to the next. For example, let's talk about the phones first. On the telephone, if I spend several hours, let's say it usually takes me about 4 hours to get 100 people to pick up the phone. That's usually my target goal, 100 conversations with individuals. So I'm going to lay out some definitions here, and if you could retweet these. My voice cracked. What am I going through, puberty? Retweet these definitions by me. We're going to talk about two functions: leads and contacts. Leads and contacts. Conversions into listings, again, will be individual. Results will vary based on your skill set, based on the turnover, based on the quality of people, based on an incubation period. So I really like to just focus on leads, because without leads, there are no listings. People ask, oh, well, what is your closing ratio? Well, there's agents out there doing 100 sides a year, making $300,000 a year. And then there's agents out there doing 20 sides a year, making $300,000 a year. So to look at the end game, I just want you to just focus on what is best for you. What are your potential outcomes in your marketplace, so that you know what your expectation is. This is all about expectations. So I'm going to define these two parameters so that your expectations are solidified, made proper, made better from the moment you begin this. A contact, by my definition, a contact. Now listen to the play on words. Listen very carefully, because it's almost poetic. A contact is a person, an individual, who can say yes, but maybe they don't. You like that one? A contact is somebody who can say yes, but maybe they don't. Meaning, they say no. A lead is somebody who can say no, but maybe they don't. But maybe they don't. You got to write these things down. This is game changing. A lead is an individual who can say yes, but maybe they don't. A contact is an individual who can say yes, but maybe they don't. A lead is an individual who can say no, but maybe they don't. That in itself that is the of my philosophy. I am looking for individuals who can say no, but maybe they don't. What does that mean? Maybe they don't. I am looking for someone who I ask my question if they're interested in selling, and they say no. That's a difference between no and no, which translates in my ears, because I've tuned my ears like a guitar to hear something behind that no tells me that they're not going to tell me yes. They never do, but there's something behind it. So ask one more question, James. Do you think maybe later down the road you'd reconsider? And they say, not really. Aha, there's a clue. Well, do you have any idea what it's worth? You open a vein similar to when you're mining, I think is the term, mining for silver. When you hit a vein, like when you're chipping an axe against a wall in a cave, and you see a fleck of silver, you don't just say, it's a fleck. You say, oh. Follow that. Where did it come from? Right there. Chip one chip behind that. Is it still there? One behind that? No. Gone. But keep working on that wall. If you've ever heard the story of the guy who, I don't know if it's a true story, but an investor who bought a territory who was supposed to be thinking that an investor who was under the impression that they bought this gold mine, and they dug, and then gave up and sold the gold mine. So let's say he bought it for $10 million back in the day, and he sold it for $1 million. He's like, there is nothing in there. Go ahead, sucker. The guy who buys it for $1 million turns around and pays geologists to tell him where to dig, and it turns out to be one of the biggest gold mines ever. Was he digging in the right place? Yes. Was he doing it smart? Nope. He didn't know where to dig. It was in that general vicinity. So my technique is predicated on you doing explosions against a mine, dropping dynamite into the walls and exploding and seeing where did it come from. I do a shotgun approach, and then I snipe it out later. It's all about lead generation and follow-up. Lead generation and follow-up. So we're talking about what is better, the doors and the phones. A lead, by definition, is somebody who can say no, but maybe they don't. A contact is somebody who can say yes, but maybe they don't. Maybe a lead and a lead is somebody who can say yes, but maybe they don't. A lead and a contact, maybe I just evolved. A lead and a contact is an individual who can say no, yes, but maybe they don't. Yeah, I don't even think I need to play on that words anymore. I just realized that. A lead and a contact, in order to tally, is an individual who can say yes, but maybe they don't. Can a renter say yes? No, so that's not a contact. Can a renter say yes? No, that's not a lead. Can a renter say yes, I think the owner is thinking of selling? Yeah, I guess that might be the only variation, because you're thinking maybe. But there are instances, like last week I was door knocking and I walked up to a door and there was an old lockbox. It was a combination, it wasn't a Supra. And the house looked abandoned. Knocked on the door, no one was there. And I put on my system, I said, you know what? Look them up later when I'm done door knocking. Look them up and see if something's there. Just check up on it. Well, it turns out that I looked up the name, looked up the number on this abandoned house, and I got a hold of the owner, and it is a divorce situation, and it's going into foreclosure, and it's a short sale. I met with the husband last night at 8 o'clock at night. I set an appointment from the phones. So it was a door knocking where I had a clue. There are always signs in this industry, a pod in the front yard, a garage sale sign, an ambulance showing up and someone being hauled off in a body bag. Sad but true. There's always these signs, right? Someone has a stroke on the street. Somebody, he pulls up a U-Haul and their son goes away. Did I say dumpster? There's always these signs that land in the front yard. A lockbox, a dead lawn. Back in the market crash, a dead lawn was money in the bank, because you're like, they're giving up, right? Especially in more affluent areas, they keep their lawn unless something's wrong. And this is where I'm at. So last night I got a lead from a door knock that I hit that piece of silver in the wall, and I followed that trail. I followed that vein, is what they call it. And last night I walked out with a key in my hand and a verbal listing agreement. If I could get the ex-wife to agree. So I got a half a listing, but it's in my backyard. So hell yeah, let's pray. All right, I should send a, okay, yeah, I'm gonna send a letter because I think she gets the mail. Boom. Okay, so let's talk. Doors versus phones. What are the ROIs? It takes me in Southern California 2019 with my manicured list that I've been curating and filtering and maintaining, sourced from multiple places, whether it be Cole, RedX, Mojo, and my Fiverr guy. I get all my data from multiple sources. If you want to know more, there's a very specific way. You don't just buy lists and compile them. There is a layering that happens. It's very, very specific. I know what I'm doing. I'd like to help you. If you need my help, go to jamesfestini.com. Join the Festini Mafia. If you join today, I'll give you 30 minutes free phone call. Use it wisely. Back to the... I'll get all of my data, and it takes me roughly 4 hours to have a conversation with 100 contacts. You know the definition of a contact. Somebody who can say yes, but maybe they don't. That means if they say my mommy's not home, that's not a contact. If I leave a voicemail message, that's not a contact. You did not make contact. Similar to an internet inquiry is not a lead, it's an inquiry. It's one way. I need a two-way conversation with an individual who can say yes, but maybe they don't. And sometimes a two-way conversation is me saying, hi, my name is Adrian with company. I was just wondering if you had an interest in selling your house. And I hear jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. You hear the cable flying across the room and you hear click. To me, that's a no, and I've been counting those. But you got to be honest with yourself. You can't count every hang-up. But if you know they heard you, I'll count it. Otherwise, man, you know, most people just hang up. They don't say anything. But you know they heard you. So moving on, we're talking about the ROI of cold calling. 100 phone conversations in 4 hours. I will generate roughly 2 leads. Those are some sorry ass numbers. So for every 2 hours I spend, I get about 1 lead. My numbers suck on the phones. I'm talking leads, appointments. That's the thing too, is that I'm not setting out to cold call to set an appointment. It's just not very common. Of course, if they're interested, I'm setting an appointment. But I'm not going to be setting myself up for disappointment when that individuals who might be able to say yes, but maybe they don't, they say no 100 times and I don't set an appointment, and then I'm ready to hang myself with my tie because I'm failing, when the reality is my expectation wasn't in line with the reality. You dig? So listen carefully. A contact is an individual who can say yes, but maybe they don't. A lead is an individual who can say yes, but maybe they don't. Maybe I can condense it one level deeper. A lead is somebody who can say yes. No, that doesn't work. A lead is an individual who can say no, but maybe they don't. And in that maybe, we convert it to a lead. If they're interested, boom. that phrase for so long. It's such a like mind puzzle to wrap your head around whether or not that encompasses, in a nutshell, what we can define a lead and a contact. So a contact is somebody, but anyhow, 4 hours in about 4 hours I contact 100 people, because that's my goal, is 100 contacts. When I knock on the doors, my goal is 100 doors. But on the phones, I'll generate 2 leads over 4 hours, so a lead every 2 hours. On the doors, I'll generate a lead every hour. The quality of lead that I generate at the doors is twice as good as the one on the phone. Because the one on the phone, it's very easy for people to hang up, but it's very hard for them to close the door on you. It's very easy to pick up on whether or not they're interested on the phone and at the doors, but it's very hard to get that second follow-up question to find out, are they a lead or not? So many times I'll get someone who says, yeah, not right now, and then they'll hang up. That's a lead that requires follow-up. And to me, that's still along the lines of like a Zillow lead. Someone who you call and say, hi, my name is Agent with Company. I was calling to see if you had any interest in selling your house. And they go, yeah, but not right now, and hangs up. That's better than a Zillow lead. Wouldn't you agree? I would agree. Because then I'll call in about 2 weeks and I'll say, hi, my name is Agent with Company. I was calling to see if you had any interest in selling your house. They'll say, yeah, but not right now. What do you think maybe later down the road? I'll be prepared next time to overcome that hang up before they hang up. Maybe that wasn't the right time. Maybe they were driving. Maybe they're on the toilet. Maybe they're having sex. Who knows what these people are doing with their phones nowadays? Answering their phones in the most precarious situations. But we can, is a lead. An individual who can say no, but maybe they don't, is a lead. It's worth asking this follow-up question. So what's better, the doors or the time and space? I'm going to get meta here because I have written a book on time and space, not from a scientific point of view, but from a metaphysical, philosophical, point of view about here, 500 feet, continue straight. Got it. Okay, need to make sure I'm on the right path here. Can't afford to get off the wrong off-ramp. I will be screwed, ballooned, and tattooed. I'm gonna make it 5 minutes early. Yeah. Okie dokie. So what do we have here? A combination of individuals who say maybe and individuals who say no. By the way, Snapchat, I'm a prolific snapper in there. I've got my glasses and I'm recording and I'm live on the internet and I want to show you guys the view. Make sure you follow me on Snapchat and Instagram. I am prolific. I'm so hardcore in my Snapchat that I have 200 on there, a lot. And if you don't have time to sit there and follow me on Snapchat, you don't like Snapchat, don't worry. I send it over to Instagram at the end of the day, and then I send it over to YouTube at the end of the day, and then I send it to Facebook. You'll find it. I'm all the time. All the time. Every day I'm creating content. Forgive me for a second, just making sure I'm not going to screw up my directional. Continue straight. Okay. Southern California freeways are kind of tricky. What is the better of the two, doors versus phones? Hour by hour. We're talking about how much time do you have and how much time do you have to travel in the space that you are allotted to travel the time. Is that meta or what? Seriously, like if someone said come list me but they're 5 hours away, would you go? No, I would hope not. Someone says, I insist. I say, okay, you're totally out of my area, but I'm going to Google a photographer in your neighborhood. I'm going to FedEx you a lockbox. If you really want me, I can do it. I can do it anywhere in the state of California if they want me bad enough. So anyhow, we're talking about whether it is better to do it by phone or by the doors. Better by phones or doors. Considering the time and space that you have to travel, and the time you have to lead generate, and the time that you have to negotiate, pound for pound, the doors are better. One person stuck around to hear that in the live stream, unless my connection was totally lost. Pound for pound, hour by hour, given the time that you have to work, very limited time. So if you were a part-time real estate agent, what do you recommend, James? I'm a part-time real estate agent. Knock on the doors. The best use of your time in prospecting in 2019 is door knocking, but door knocking the right way, with my scripts, with my app. You use my scripts and my app and my formula, you will make the best of your time and you will succeed. What is the better of the two? Doors versus phones? Doors. I would always be rather door knocking. I would always. Here's the problem. I can get on the phones all day. I can get on the phones all day long. I can sit on the telephone from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and the only side effect is my ass hurts, my legs hurt, my hips hurt, my eyes get bugged out, right? I mean, that's the only side effect, is just that it hurts to sit on your ass all day like that. You get fat, you eat like crap. So the side effect of cold calling is only weight gain. It's health. It's unhealthy, terribly unhealthy to telephone prospect, because you're going to be sitting on your butt, 10, 12 hours a day looking for leads, right? And of course, like I said, the ROI of door knocking versus cold calling. Cold calling, you sit there for a long time. Door knocking, you're on the move, you're seeing the neighborhood. So all day long, I would much rather be door knocking. The benefits, the health benefits of door knocking. Here's the type of door knocking. You might be physically capable of door knocking for more than an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Again, we're going back to the methods that I teach. It is as basic and as elementary as having the right socks, having the right underwear, having the right nutrition, eating the right food, being toilet close. Do you have a small bowel or IBS, right? Do you have to pee a lot? Do you get dehydrated a lot? Are you in a hot territory? Are you up and down hills? Do you have a prosthetic leg? Right? Do you have a bad back? There's a lot of physical limitations to the amount of doors you can do. But believe it or not, if you go out, if you're 90% there health-wise, like you're just overweight and just sloppy, right? But for the most part, you've got a good body. Your body's good. You didn't, there's nothing to, you can walk. If you can go to the mall and walk around for an hour, then you can door knock. If you can go to Target and walk around, if you can go to the store and walk around, then you can door knock. Here's the thing. You have to build an endurance when you're door knocking. It's an endurance game. So the first time, and this is my advice to you, first time you go out door knocking, you go out 10, 15, 20 doors. But don't go for the doors, go for the time and the doors. Keep a good log. Buy my app. I'm going to call it my app because I'm invested. It's called Knockwise, Knockwise. That's the first time I've used those words here, ladies and friends. Knockwise. It's in the App Store. It's good. All right, I've been using Spotio. Spotio's good too, but Knockwise is I guess I'm announcing my sponsorship. They are an affiliate. Guess I have to disclose that, but whether or not they were an affiliate, I use them. So I wonder if I even have to disclose if I use them, right? 'Cause YouTube's always like, you got to disclose they're an affiliate. Well, what if I'm using them? What if I actually, what if this is something I live with? Do I have to disclose? So anyhow, I'd like to let you know, Knockwise, yep. It is good, I've checked it out. I'm going to start producing videos, training videos on the Knockwise app to improve efficiency, improve an understanding, because a lot of what I've been teaching has been on the Spodio app, and I want you guys to be efficient. I want you guys to do a lot of work, and I want you to do it in a short amount of time. So door knocking versus cold calling, telephones versus doors. Who is better? The doors. But if area, let's do the math on this. If you live in an area where the doors are 10 minutes apart, meaning you're like in the woods, right? You're in the sticks. Here's what I'd recommend. I'd recommend, honestly, if I was in the woods, I would get a Segway or a hoverboard or a one wheel, probably a one wheel. I would ride. I mean, obviously, if you're not physically capable of eating crap once or twice, because that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to wipe out several times. Whoa.